Welcome.
Sip
Hi,
Happens, episode 16. We're
we're
both
here.
very brightly summer colored today, unintentionally. I'm in a neon pink and you're in a lovely little turquoise
Pink
top.
looks great on you. Actually,
Thank you
you
so
look
much.
yeah, you do great in bright colors. Looks good with your skin, great with your
You and my
hair.
4-year-old both love this shirt.
They do.
It's
I
a good
really
one.
like that
It's a
pink
good
on
one.
you.
It's one of
How you
my
doing?
giant
First day
oversized
of school for
shirts.
you.
Not yet. We're after Labor Day.
Oh, I thought that was
I know.
today. That was just a
No,
cute picture.
it's next week. Yeah, there are. So I sent you a picture of our kids this morning on the steps of school because they both got new shoes for the school year and they wore their new shoes today and they picked out their own outfits. And Emerson and I were in matching dresses. Harrison was in a pair of bluey shorts and a lemon button-down top. I don't know what sort of business he intended to conduct at daycare, but he had business to conduct, and they both looked very, very snappy today. I said that this morning, Emerson and Harrison, they were both looking at themselves in our big circular mirror in our master bedroom. And I said, everyone looks very snappy today. And Emerson goes, and fancy and handsome. Yeah, all of the above. All of the
10-4,
above.
Emerson. Yeah, 'tis the season. It's gonna be back to school. It's gonna be flooding all the socials and Instagrams of they've already started to come in for my friends who are in Connecticut, some in Denver, some in well, actually not Portland yet, Seattle.
Do you
This
do the like, here's my kid with a sign with
no,
their school details?
no, and I do my own. I kind of just actually I did because I feel like I felt like pressured to do it. I don't.
There's like a
That's
social pressure for sure.
I definitely take a first day of school picture of Max
Of course. Of
and
course.
maybe for my own mental wellness to remember what age he is and when. I have him hold up like a piece of paper that says like K or pre-K or
Super formal.
NP, like literally just so I can tag the photo and remember like what year it was. But it's
Yeah.
not for those likes, dislikes, hates. I don't know. No, I don't.
I no hate to anyone who does those. But to me, they are very similar to putting a sign in your yard with a picture of your kid saying, so and so is on the varsity football team. So and so made the cheer squad. I'm just not a big, like, I intend to brag about my kids and be so proud of them. I already am. But I'm not a big fan of publicizing those so many details.
Because the area that I grew up in, like, I was in a neighborhood that was like Carmel Corsair varsity football player and Carmel Corsair varsity soccer. And whenever I go home to Libertyville, I go for runs in our neighborhoods and I see like St. Joseph Knights, proud mama. And they're everywhere. And then they have like the bumper stickers. And yeah, I don't know. Actually, I think when I went to college, I got my mom a Northwestern women's soccer one that
I
like
don't mind those.
I put on
I don't
her
mind those.
car.
It's just when it's like a picture of like this child lives in this home and it's like a picture of your kid's face publicized in the front yard, that kind of thing where I'm like,
Graduation. I feel like the graduation. I
maybe.
mean, how do you feel about the graduation ones? I mean,
I
so the
I'm
this is
curious to
the
see if
thing.
that's still around when we're dealing with graduations because it's like a big like yard signs with like full letters and balloons and like and that's a new thing that didn't exist when maybe not for me. Did it exist for you?
No, not the faces, but even around here, around Accord, like when I'm driving down our main route 209, like Ace Hardware has like, just a smorgasbord of faces of the proud grads. Whatever. Anyways, back to school time. We're getting into it. Everyone's
What were your back to school traditions? Did you have any growing up when you were going to school?
no. I always remember taking a photo with my brother Chris, kind of by our driveway, like that kind of very specific photo that you had every year. But
Mhm.
because I went to private Catholic high school, we had a dress code. And so there's like little room for like individuality. So like
Flair.
there's no flair. It was solid
Mhm.
colored collared shirts with your school skirt or khaki pants or any neutral colored pants. And so like
Okay, so
the
that
most
you didn't have a dress code. That's a uniform. You had like a
yeah,
uniform with options.
very uniform with options though. And so like you
Okay.
couldn't wear striped, you couldn't wear any sort of pattern. So like wait, if you wanted to really rebel, you'd wear like an Abercrombie and Fitch solid colored sweat and then under, because you always had to wear a collar. So you'd rebel by wearing a a striped collar and seeing if you could get away with it. Well, I never got away with
Nice.
it. That's where all of my like offenses came from. So yeah, that was always a good. But that's really it. I don't remember grade school. Do you?
No, we would always, our grandma would take us first day of school shopping, and we would all pick out a new outfit for the first day of school, which thinking back, I'm like, "Wow, that's so frivolous. It seems so unnecessary. And maybe it's just being raised one way with different spending habits, and now raising my own family where I'm like, I don't feel the need or obligation to get a new backpack. Like the backpack still works. Why does she need a new backpack, a new lunchbox, a new water bottle, like all the things? I'm like, if it's broken, yeah, I'll get a new one. And I'm not going to send her to school with like decrepit things. We can afford to buy new things, but like everything's still in great working order. But we used to love that as a kid. So now I'm like, do we do that? Is that a fun thing to do, to go get a new first day of school outfit? So we got our new shoes. We did that, which we were very excited about because I realized like our kids just are growing. I mean, they all do. They just grow so quickly. And you think the shoes they were wearing a week ago are going to fit, and they don't fit. You got to replace them. Like it's
I have a
wild
whole
to me. I
bag
don't
from
understand.
Harry. I have like
Great.
VIP, very, very, very good stuff for Harry that I'm saving for you in a bag.
I
Like
can't
really good
wait.
VIP stuff. Yeah.
I can't wait. I don't know what is in there, but just so you know specifically, he's in the market for a pair of cowboy boots right now.
That is one thing I cannot accommodate. There's no cowboy boots, but I have some other items.
We went on a very specific shopping mission this weekend because I put on a pair of cowboy boots because it was a little
Funny.
cooler in the morning, and both Harry and Emerson were like, I need boots." And I was like, "Okay, like absolutely. This is something that isn't frivolous. I will absolutely
Yes.
immediately plan a shopping trip to find cowboy boots for you." But we couldn't find any. We got our sneakers. But yeah, I also remember not first day of school, but for like games, football games or track meets or cross country, we would get those car paint pens and write on our
Yeah.
windows.
Oh yeah.
We would
Yeah.
we would do that all the time. That was like a big back to school thing. Or like your senior year driving into school into the parking lot, you would have like I graduated in 2002, oh to be a senior, like all of the silly stuff on your car. We did a
Did
lot of that.
you get a senior superlative? Did they do those for your class?
They did, but I don't remember what mine was,
I got
sadly.
best car, which is more, I think, of a joke because it was not a fancy car by any means. I had a like 1998 two-door black Chevy Tahoe that was like a former hunting vehicle that had
Great.
40-inch tires, 3-inch lift, huge like light bar on top, like PL lights on top, this huge like grill. And
That's
instead of a
amazing.
horn, like a traditional horn, it had an like an actual air horn that I guess you'd use if you're like lost in the woods. And yeah,
Did you pick this car?
no, no, it's like my dad's. We don't. My family doesn't hunt, but around the Chicago area, there are pockets of like pheasant hunting that you can do. And so my dad had a friend who lived, I don't know, way down the southwestern, like south of Chicago, and whatever. It was like his old like hunting car. I'm like, great. It was like
Cool.
was a machine. Like in the winter, I'd be driving to school, and it was so high up. It was a monster truck. I drove a monster truck in high
Yeah. Yeah.
cars they couldn't slam on the brakes if it was really snowy, and it would go underneath my car. I had 3 accidents where people from behind me in like Toyota Camrys or little Accords or like
Gosh.
or Honda Accords would like slide underneath my car, and their hood would get like pushed up because it'd go under my car. Like that's how big it was. It was insane. But yeah,
That's so
that was my
I don't
senior
know what kind of
superlative.
car I would have
Yes,
imagined you
there
in. Like, I would have imagined your
for
brother
random.
driving that. Did he drive that as well?
He drove it, and then I think
That
he
was like
drove
the
it all the
kid's
way
car.
throughout college, and it was a rock
Wow.
shortly after he graduated. But it got like 3 miles a gallon. I think it
Of
cost like
course.
$200 to fill it up because it was just like it was
A
the most
tank. That's so
impractical,
silly. Yeah.
like, least cost efficient, yet safe. It was very safe, I guess, but I don't
I
know.
will say we all drove so I'm one of 4 kids, so we never were a family that got our own cars. But for a family of 6, we did still have 4 cars, so there was always something for someone to drive. But we all learned to drive in a Suburban because that was the whole, if you can learn to drive in a Suburban, if you can learn to park a Suburban, you can learn to drive anything. And then so we learned to drive in the Suburban, and then we got to do our driver's test with the Dodge Durango, so it was a little bit smaller, so all of our
Hmm.
skills were kinda shrunken down, and it was a little bit easier to maneuver. But now I feel so uncomfortable, and maybe it's also because I'm 5'10". I can't do a sedan. I've always had to have SUVs. Like, I feel so small and, like, just people are towering over me on the roads if I'm in anything that's not an SUV. Maybe I don't know
I
if
mean,
it's because 'cause I'm
nothing
taller
that
because
gives you
I
like height,
learned.
you know,
Yeah.
the big height. And high school, I liked high school. I would just we don't have to get into it, but oh, actually, yeah. I mean, this is not even an episode on high school.
Uh-huh.
I
The
had
throwback
Spencer in my head.
years.
I had Spencer in my head there. I'm like, no, get into it. We want to get into it.
What was your persona in high school? Who were you? Like, were
Like,
you were
I think
jock?
I'm like the same. I'm genuinely the same person, for better or for worse. And I don't know what that
Okay.
means about my personal development and who I am. I loved high school. I had a good
I loved high
experience. I was
school.
fortunate because, like, I liked high school. I was, like, healthy. I was playing soccer, doing all the sports, doing basketball, had great friends. I don't know, like, I was one of those weird people who, like, really, really liked high school, and then, col actually, like, I liked high school more than college, which is so I don't know what that even means, but
Interesting.
I don't wanna say more than, sorry, I don't wanna say I liked high school more than college, that sounds kinda weird, but it was very different experiences, obviously. College, I had
Yeah.
it was, I don't know, highs and lows just given my school. But yeah, I don't know. I liked high school.
I liked high school. High school
Yeah,
was good. I was
yeah.
I think junior high was tough for me because that's when I, like, got super gangly and tall and awkward, and I mean, I'm still gangly and tall and own my awkwardness now. But I think going through all those physical changes is always it kind of just, like, exacerbates the social situation and the education and everything. High school, I was very I was in a little bit of a bubble. Like, I was in the Bible study and Fellowship of Christian Athletes and
Oh,
had a
yeah,
great
yeah.
group of friends, and we used to, like, host all of the Bible study groups and the cross country and the football teams and everything at our house, and it was a very lovely, idyllic way to grow up, and then I went to college and left the state, and I'd left the state before, obviously, my family traveled, but, like, without adult supervision and was in college and actually, like, experienced the world and met different people and was taught to question things and challenge my own beliefs in a way where I became who I am today, and I think personality-wise, I'm very much similar to who I was in high school and in junior high, but I think a lot of my
Do you think we would
beliefs
have been
changed.
friends in high school?
My friend group was very focused on the sports I played, so for that reason, I don't think so. Because my high school was very like, you're in your group, and, there were 200 people in my class, so, like, you knew everyone, you were social with everyone. I didn't have, like, anyone that I wasn't friends with, but I don't think that we would have been, like, in group a friendship group hanging out
I
because we
don't
did
know.
different sports,
I know. Yeah, I
and I was
again,
singing all the time. I was in, like, the audition chorale groups. I was really cool.
I don't know. I mean, if you look at my yeah, I feel like I'm just kind of the same person. I feel like I look the same. I like weigh the same. Not I'm not, I just like I just my body. I mean, not weight, but like my I just I look the same. Like I just Craig thinks I was just born like I don't know, born
You just
looking.
came out
Like,
exactly
just
like this. This
weird.
was you.
Kind of. I think the like my hair's gotten a lot blonder. Anyways, as you were
Thank you,
talking,
Tippy.
thank you, Tippy. Shout out Tippy at Bumble and me packing. Homegirl. As you were talking there, I was writing down all these random notes back on my notepad of like my random roundup of everything that I saw on social this week that I wanted to text you, but I held it in so tight because I was like, I need to use it for the
I've got
pod
my notes.
and
I'm ready.
tell you. So everyone, we're workshopping this section. I like to say things I saw on social because that's just how I talk. So we're trying to figure out like, it's just supposed to be like a segment because I don't know. Anyone has
It's where
ideas?
a lot of our news comes from. We both consume social stuff, which is a compilation of articles or posts or research or outfits. Who knows what it is? But for better or worse, it's where a lot of our stuff comes from. So we'll figure out what to call it. But please tell me what you saw
I
on
can yeah.
social.
So this one is interesting and it's okay. And I never thought we'd be talking about Putin and poop on Sip Happens, but here we are. So I was reading on it was actually via the New York Times, and but I was served to me via social that Putin when he travels to other countries for presidential or official visits, he brings his medical staff with him to collect all of his urine and feces after he uses the restroom because all of our poop and urine contain such coveted biological markers that if any foreign entity got that information about him, it would be like gold in terms of allergies, medications you're on. It's basically a glimpse into
Like
your,
using his poop against him.
yeah, basically they will use his poop against him. And I was like, wow, that is so weird, but
That
so
is a
smart.
supreme level of paranoia.
But yeah, but it kind
But
of
yeah,
like makes sense. Like, yeah,
but
like think
because
about
I've
all
heard
the,
about people studying poop to actually get to know your body better. And I guess
yes,
as with anything, like you can use that for evil purposes as well. Like I wouldn't have thought of that. But I'm
yes.
not a
I mean, it's
supreme leader of another country, so I don't
no.
think that way.
But it's like imagine if you had the ability to have access to Trump's poop, you could understand like, what type of, heart medication is he on for congenital heart failure? Is he actually sick? What's going on? It's just like it is a window into a person's most personal biological markers and soul. And
Wow.
there you go. Dropping it right
That
here. You
is
heard it first.
that's so interesting.
Yeah. I have a lot. You like that one? Wait to hear the next one. So I'll let you go next.
Well, I was gonna say, and I when I saw this, I immediately thought of you because you are my gut queen. You have spent so much time learning about your own gut and figuring out what works for you and dealing with gut issues that I assumed you've seen this, but I withheld the text in the moment so I could bring it up now. Have you watched the gut health documentary on Netflix?
Nope. I am like so deep into the summer I turned pretty. I am determined to get all caught up and finish season 3 in the next like week. No, there's no educational viewing happening in my house right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like you would love it. You would
Okay.
love it. It's great.
Adding to
I
my
started it. I
Netflix.
started it,
So it's a
and Spencer made me turn it off because he wanted us to wait to watch it with the kids. That's the kind of dad Spencer is. No, let's save this gut health documentary to watch with our 4-year-old and 2-year-old. They'll really love it.
yeah, I'm sure that
We'll see how long they last. But yeah, I forget even what it's called. It's like the good stuff about your gut or something. Just search gut on Netflix. And I only found it because we were trying to watch, we've been striking out and missing with things to watch. I know the Summer I Turned Pretty is just hot and heavy right now. I haven't gotten into it. My consumption of TV, we've talked about this, happens with my husband. It's very rare that I watch stuff without my husband. So if I am not going to be able to get him on board with it, I likely won't be watching it. We finally are watching The Bear. We've caught up on that. We're getting through some of these things, but The Summer I Turned Pretty doesn't seem likely.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like that's going to be like this winter. I'll save it for like a breastfeeding show when I'm
Yeah, like the winter
sitting
you
stuck on
turn
the
ugly
couch. Yeah, exactly. The winter I turned into a couch potato.
into a
Um,
melting blob.
but we were searching for this movie that I was like, oh, I saw a clip of this on social media because, of course, I saw something on social media and it looked great. And it was a movie called The Guilty with Jake Gyllenhaal. It
Mm,
was horrible. It was absolutely
mm.
horrible. Do not
That
watch
doesn't
it.
surprise me. I feel like he can be like kind of like a hot beefcake, but he's not.
It's
Like
awful.
the last good movie
It was
he was in
awful.
was honestly, I feel like the one with Pamela Anderson. Anderson, remember that? And Anderson, my God, Aniston. Remember, and it's like she's like older and he's kind of younger, and he's like a shopping guy.
The last
Do you
one I
remember?
remember
He
him
works
one
in
was
the
he was the bad guy
store.
in one of the Spider-Mans.
Oh, I too. I don't know. Actually,
But
no.
don't
I
see
mean,
this one.
Brokeback
Don't see
Martin was his
this.
Oscar performance, so I'll give him some
I
credit
never
there.
saw Brokeback Mountain. I've
Uh,
told you this is an ADHD thing. Like the things that people see, I don't see. I got to figure it out. But that's the only reason I found the gut documentary because I was trying to find it on Netflix and I searched GU and it went to the guilty and the gut thing. So search gut. Don't skip over guilty. Go straight to gut. Good stuff.
I am a podcast obsessive. I listen, like we talk about, right? All the different pods. As I was walking Lemon this morning, I was like thinking through my another side hustle for another creative outlet. And I was like, what if I started like either pod or Instagram that was specific to like I listen to all the podcasts so you don't have to. So I listen to all the podcasts and I give you like
Yeah.
either a podcast review or it's like
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes for podcasts.
Like Cliff's
This has to
Notes.
exist.
It has to.
Doesn't it? Like, have you I
Yeah.
mean, if I Googled it, there's, like, really no good options, so along that lines, what I was going to say was I was listening to also a Mel Robbins pod this morning all about masculinity. And this is a shout out to Katie Babs who texted me. She's like, you have to listen to this. And I feel like this is another guest that we should think about having on the show.
Mel Robbins? Yeah, we'd love her. Come on, Mel.
Well, that's coming September 4th. So I'm
Great.
talking about after,
Fantastic.
yeah, after
Right.
Mel. Uh,
Okay.
and having a guy come on, because like there's such a conversation happening on not necessarily like toxic masculinity, but like, Scott Galloway is always talking about like this epidemic of loneliness for men, but just how young boys are just being raised to, you know, don't be a pussy, don't cry.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know, like that just spoke to me. So that's another little random thing is in terms of future guests, if anyone has any suggestions. And I wanted to have like more, I don't know, maybe have like a dad voice on here in terms of it's like motherhood, but dads can mom too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's
The
what
other
about.
day, Emerson told me that her best friend from school has two moms. And she told me, she said, I wish I had two moms. And I was like, oh, sorry, we're a little late for that. Like I'm already committed to this situation. I'm locked in. But I loved it. And I was like, that's great. Because there you do think about like the different roles of males and females and a male or just singular male or single father or whatever, like what that looks like in a parenting spectrum. Um, and I love that she thought that way. It just made me happy. I
I
told you
have
this story, but I'll tell it again.
I have two more random things, but I want you to tell me your randoms, and we'll
Yeah,
popcorn.
because I think we are overthinking this. Emerson may have come up with a segment title for us because the other day I picked her up from school and for the first time ever, her teacher pulled me aside and was like, hey, we had a tough day today. And I was like, oh my gosh, like tell me all about it. My husband was with me. So I was like, Spencer, why don't you take Emmy out of the room? Because she just started talking in front of Emerson. And I was like, all right, we have a tough day. Like chat it out and like get the kid out of here. She goes, she had a hard time at nap time and everyone was laying down and she was just really being disruptive. Emmy doesn't nap anymore. It's fine. Usually she'll just sit and read quietly. Okay, fine. Rough nap time. It happens. Then she said she was out on the playground and she was fighting with a little boy. And, okay, I'll talk to her about that. Cool. Like I'll have to get more information on that situation. And then she said she made up a song about one of her friends saying, I don't want to play with so and so. I don't want to play with so and so. I said, oh, that's interesting. Emmy loves to make up songs. I wonder why she didn't want to play with her. And she said, I asked her, and she said, I just made it up. It's not real. And the teacher said, well, are you mad at her? And she goes, no, I'm not mad at her. I just made up a song. And the teacher said, well, if you're not actually mad at her, you could hurt her feelings by saying that. And Emmy was like, but I just made it up. It's not real. And the teacher goes, but you could hurt her feelings. And Emmy goes, what's the big deal? And I was like, I literally like audibly chuckled at the teacher and she's like, oh, and I was like, sorry, I love that she asked that question. I love that she's questioning you. And the teacher was like, oh, okay, well, I don't know what she was talking about, but I just told her it could hurt someone's feelings. And I walked out and I was like so proud of my daughter that she's questioning authority and poking holes in things. And it's like, I don't understand. Like, what's the big deal? But I feel like that
What's
could
the
be a
big
fun
deal?
segment. What's the big deal? Yeah. What's the big deal?
I mean, because yeah, like there's so many, yeah, absolutely. There's just
What's the big
so
deal?
many like don't sweat the small stuff. Like, what's the big deal? Like, who cares? Like, I don't know. Yeah, I love it.
I even asked the teacher, I was like, did the friend hear? Were the friend's feelings hurt? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, well, then I agree. What's the big deal? Like, why is this a
Again, I
situation?
have Mel Robbins on the brain, and I'm not like a huge Mel Robbins stan. I mean, I like her, but like it's like her let them theory. It's like just let them do whatever they want to do, and do your own thing.
They're 4-year-olds. Like, they'll be good. They're fine. So anyway, what's the big deal?
What's the big deal? Well, I'll tell you
All right, tell
something
me what
else
you
that
saw
is
on
the big
social
deal.
media. Tell me.
Here's something else on social media is Armchair Expert, right? Dax Shepard, who we know and love
Mm-hmm.
because me and Dax, obviously, and Kristen are friends. Uh, Amanda Knox is on the pod, and I cannot wait to listen to this.
I saw a
I
clip
don't
of that.
know. Yes. And I was like, I mean, it was a very, you probably saw the same clip that I did. It was a very explicit, but
Mm-hmm. It had
I
like a
never got
warning beforehand.
into yeah, like, I never got into her story. I never really realized the actual trial and everything. I only kinda knew about it salaciously from afar, but now there's, like, a Hulu show on it, and she's out of prison now, so she's doing her whole media road tour. I can't wait to listen to it. I'm not educated enough to give an opinion, but based on this clip, I cannot believe how um, uh, mistakenly charged she was, but I guess I shouldn't really say that because I don't have all the details, but I guess the evidence is
Well,
just
I think you
so.
can say that because it was proven in court that she didn't do what she
Was
was
it proven? Okay, I
accused of
don't
doing.
know
Yeah,
how it
yeah,
ended
yeah,
up.
yeah,
I thought she
yeah.
was charged I thought she was guilty, got thrown into prison, just got released, or it was thrown out?
I don't think
I
so.
don't
I
know.
thought she got thrown. Apparently, neither of us know enough about this. But
I don't
yes, it
know
looked
enough
like a
about
really
this, but
interesting conversation.
yes, and enough that I'm actually gonna not only listen to that interview, but I'm more interested in her backstory and the whole narrative behind what happened, and watching the documentary. So that was something. And then the last thing that I thought you might know is Jen Hatmaker. Does that sound familiar to you? So she's interesting because she
Only because
is
I
coming
saw
out
it
with
on
a new
social
memoir,
media.
and she
Uh-huh.
used to. Oh, really? So she was also on New York Times, the interview, but she's been in my orbit for a while because she's a former, like, evangelical Christian darling, and that's not why she was in my orbit. But she kind of broke away from, like, her faith, and that's not her faith. She broke away from her church, got a big divorce, and she's basically changed her views, and she's very progressive, very pro everything. Married or had partnered up with a black man, has two black kids now, very supportive of all things LGBTQ plus IA. Um, anyways, I'm sharing it because she's just been this amazing voice, but it's also an interesting conversation because she's basically changing like one strict set of like ideologies for a new set, and it just kind of like raised another question of like I don't know, like you're going from like very very deep evangelical Christian to now like obsessive, very far left. I don't wanna use the word woke because that sounds very charged, but, like, it's almost like these two polar opposite. This isn't a this we don't need to get into the conversation. I'm just bringing her up in this interview in the New York Times. Listen to it. It was very interesting.
Okay.
I like her. I think she's a really good perspective. That's it.
Note.
Things I saw on social.
All right, ready for my things I saw on social? Mine are very research based, which I don't think is too surprising. I learned this week from social media that now, actually, I think the data was from 2023, but recently, a third of births end in C-section. One third of births end in C-section, which blew my mind. I did not think it was that many.
Is it
One,
because, like, the medical system wants you to have a C-section because it's, like, easier to, like, get you in and out because it's, like,
maybe
in, out, we don't have to
the
let you
business of
labor and wait.
C-sections, yeah,
Yeah.
versus like not knowing how long it's going to take and the unknown. I mean, there's obviously so much unknown with C-sections as well. I don't know. 1 in 10 births is preterm, and up to 45% of new moms report birth trauma. Nearly half of every woman who gives birth reports some sort of trauma, which that statistic doesn't surprise me at all.
No. No, I'm
At all.
actually surprised it's not even more, like, 99%. I don't know, like, it is a very traumatic experience.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. All of us should report trauma. That and then going back to the moms and dads things, I think it was a study out of Harvard. I'll have to go back and check my sources, but a study that studied the neurological response of men and women responding to babies crying, and literally different parts of the brain fire up in response to a baby crying, and the part that fires up in a woman is the kind of caretaking safety part of the brain, excuse me, where the mom becomes this role of like, oh my gosh, I need to take care of you, I need to keep you safe. The part in a man's brain that fires up when they hear their child crying is the you're better than that part of the brain. It's the be stronger, you
Hmm.
can get through this kind of part of the brain. And the study was talking about how important it is to have both of those presences in your kids' lives growing up, because essentially the mom is there for comfort and the dad is there for courage. And I thought it was just so interesting that you're literally the way, and there's so much about how the way men and women are wired differently, and it's just absolutely fascinating. But in response to this particular study about parenting and comforting your child and being there for your kid, literally the way we are wired as women is to be there to teach our children comfort and safety, and men are there to teach the kid courage and being stronger, and not that
You
they
think
don't have the ability
that's
to
how
be
you and
safety and
Spencer are?
comfort.
Do you guys embody those rules?
I think so. I think so. I think there Spencer has a lot more of the Spencer's a great example of positive masculinity. He's very comfortable not being the big strong man when necessary. Like he cries openly. He's very comfortable with those kind of things. Like he has a softer side where he can provide that comfort a lot more than I think some men probably do. Um, but yeah, I think we pretty
Yeah.
much fit that. What do you think? Do you
Yeah.
think you and Craig do that?
No, he's just he's in a deep mama phase. Like he just it's
Isn't
just
he
me.
always though? He's
Yeah,
always your little guy.
he definitely is a mama's boy, but like now more like the past few weeks more than ever, it's also been like it's been bad where he will completely have a freak out and he'll act and scream a certain way with Craig and he would not. He would probably do it with me, but like he doesn't. I can kind of walk into the room and he just kind of calms down. So I don't know if that's gonna be a foreshadowing for, like, teenage years in the future, but it's funny because, like, I always thought I would be the very strict disciplinary, and
Yeah.
I'm not. Like, Craig's a lot better with, like, boundaries and strict, and I'm just like, "Okay." Like, I never it's just so weird 'cause I'm like, it's the opposite
So
of how I
interesting.
am with my own life and, like,
Yeah.
anything else that I do that I'm just like, it's like, "Can I have a cookie?" I'm like, "Sure." What?"
See,
Like,
Spencer's the pushover, and the kids will tell you that. If we're like, "Hey, if you wanted a cookie, who would you ask?" They'd be like, "Oh, Dad." Yeah, absolutely,
"Oh,
Dad. They know. I'm much
yeah,
better with the boundaries, but I'm also the safe space. Like we're both very much, I think, a safe space. Or who knows? We'll see. I mean, I say this all the time. We are screwing our kids up in so many ways that we'll find out down the line, but we're doing the best we can.
yeah." So, that is
They're good
my
kids.
random list of things I saw on social. I guess US Open is starting. I feel like we're gonna get inundated with US Open content and all the brand activations and everyone who's going to be there. I love the US Open. I'm so sad to miss it. I haven't been in
Again,
years.
we've
Someone
we've
invite
talked
me.
about this. I
Someone
don't
take me with
know.
their
I don't
corporate suite,
I don't
please.
follow tennis. I'll check out the outfits. I like seeing who goes. But I guess that's also an interesting
The
one.
outfits. Yeah.
Serena and GLP-1. So she recently did
Yes,
her
yes.
women's health
Mhm.
story and talked
No,
about
girl,
how
you knew.
GLP-1.
It's.
I love it. I love it. I love the transparency. I love that she's doing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I mean, girl can do whatever she wants. She is a unbelievable world champion, one of the greatest athletes in history. You do what makes you feel good. 2 kid I love her husband, Alexis Ohanian. He's like the biggest supporter and champion of women's sports. He has all of his
He would be a
foundation
good a
money
good
going to
dad chat.
would
Custom
I
pancakes art, like that
yeah,
blows my mind every time. I'm like, this is
actually, it would
how
be
are you
amazing.
reverse pancake
We would do
arting? I don't
that.
understand how you do this. He'd be a great dad
Um,
chat.
Great
Yeah,
dad chat. I'll add
I
that to
love that she is transparent
my
about that. I love that she's being open about that because one of the strongest, athletes in the world who's always been at the top of her game is it has to be a big thing for her to admit that she needed help and
Mhm,
assistance and doing things. The challenging thing I have with it though is that it's a drug that not everyone has access to, or the resources that she has and the steps she took to get to that point are not things that everyone has access to. So it's hard to have an open conversation and dialogue about that when like there's just such a mess in the healthcare system and we've gotten into it. It's just I think just generally if everyone could have more access to healthcare, that would be fantastic. And then if people then need GLP-1, great, then go that route, but we need help.
there's also, I'm sure a lot of these companies, they don't want everyone to access GLP-1s
Of
because
course not.
then there goes the massive food industry and goodbye PepsiCo and Frito-Lay
Of
and,
course not.
Kellogg's and all these companies that make food to keep us addicted to it with fat and sugar and eating. So,
As a food restaurant publicist, I'm probably the only person on this podcast right now who read this article, but there's an article about how restaurants are shrinking their portion size in response
yeah,
to
yeah,
GLP-1 because
yeah.
so many people are eating less and their appetites are shrinking because of the access to drugs, especially in markets like New York where there's
And just like
people
the
with more
wasted
money.
food with like these people are going out to dinner and it's like a social activity and like they're like barely they go to be social. And then there's like all this food waste now because you just go out and you pick and you maybe have a couple of sips of a drink and then you're done. Not me,
Not
not with
me.
this table over here.
Not us.
Take another martini, another slice of pizza, please.
Yeah,
A little
that
ice cream to
works.
go. I just I
Not us.
I could never, like, if I ever like, losing my appetite's, like, the worst feeling. I just love food. Like, I can't think of a worse thing than, like, not being hungry or just because
Food
I'm
is
fortunate.
such
I don't
a
have an addictive food brain, but, like, I love
it's a
food.
social thing too, like, just being able to sit and chat around crudité, whatever it is, like, it just brings people together in a sense of community in such a great way. I think growing up, I had a very different relationship with food, and we've, touched on this a bit, but I think when you get to the point in your life where you have such a like, an appreciation for food and an awareness of what you're actually putting in your body and what it's doing for you, it's great. It's a great place to be. You really get to sit down, just enjoy your snacks and your food and your meals, and I love it. I love food.
Can't wait to eat more of it with you and have another drink.
Cannot wait.
Um,
We are overdue. Hey, for our longtime listeners and fans, great news. We actually had a chat with someone about branding. So progress.
Everyone asking about our hats and our merch coming soon.
All the people asking.
I mean, it's not like I'm not like one of those influencers. We're like the influencers, like, okay, I've gotten a lot of DMs about the get ready with me routine. So we're gonna show it to you. Hey guys, everyone's asked about my jeans or size 2. No, but
Mhm.
we have gotten some merch inquiries, which I love. But I also just love a good merch. I love some hats.
I
I
do
love
too.
some
Yeah, it's
gear.
very selfishly motivated. We
Yeah.
we want
And
to
then
represent.
when we go into our next season, we will be doing some live Sip Happen tours. I think that's our next evolution,
Yeah,
and we'll be
absolutely.
doing this over a drink in a live
Meat and
setting and
sips.
inviting all of our fellow happy hour sippers to,
There's a very good chance our first meet and sip will be in Manhattan. So
mhm,
just stay tuned for that. Plan ahead, folks.
it will likely be first quarter of next year or second quarter of next year,
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, it's no
given
fun
you
if
could
I
maybe
can't sip.
take a river.
I'm not gonna have like a meet and greet with a club soda.
No,
It's not
it
my
will be
jam.
soft. We'll have, like, martinis, and we'll get a little
Yeah, for
unhinged. It'll be
sure.
like Unwell, but make it Stefany and Stefany. So,
It'll be
okay.
fantastic.
On that note, I got a call to get to.
I'm
I'll
gonna
love
try
you
to work
long.
out.
Oh, great.
We'll
Oh,
see what
Peloton.
happens.
Who are you doing? Who are you doing today? A little Kodiak?
You know,
A little Jack?
can I hear Peloton confessions really quickly before we sign off?
Mhm.
I am not a fan of Robin's classes, and all of the prenatal classes are hers because not all. There's some for other people,
Tell
but the
me why, 'cause I
majority of
love
ones.
Robin, though. She's so
It's
hardcore, but
it's
that's, like,
you
my
just
vibe
gotta find your
sometimes.
energy, and you know
Yeah,
this. You gotta find
yeah.
whoever you wanna vibe with
I
that
love
day.
Well.
And very rarely am I in the mood to adjust my crown. Like that sort of energy doesn't vibe with me. So I need like an Ally Love or, who else do I like? I love
I love
Alex
Well.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Emma's
I'm thinking
great.
of all the
Emma's great.
'cause she was
I'm
super
also
proud.
I'm also
She was
not team Cody. I'm not team Cody.
oh, nor am
There
I.
I, I
I don't.
just
It's annoying. Yeah, it's just
yeah.
too it's
He used his old classes I love, but once he became a brand, I was like, "Oh, I'm going to find other people."
he just and he has the worst taught classes, and the commentary for me has just gotten old. So everyone again, but that's the thing, the beauty of Peloton, you pick your own person, you find someone that speaks to you, and I go and choose my person literally based on the mood that I am that day. Oh,
Absolutely. And I will say, for the people who don't know who these people are and don't know what we're talking about, if you're new to Peloton and you are looking for an easy, more lighthearted class, definitely try Cody. It's entertaining. You don't even realize you're on a bike half the time.
who
So
are you
that's an
even
easy thing.
recommending? Oh,
You would see,
I
I
don't
would
even
for
recommend it.
starters. I would for people who are
No,
like, because you just
no.
sit there and chit
The first
chat.
introduction to Peloton would not be Cody. First introduction to Peloton for
Who would be your
me,
first intro?
that's actually a really good question.
You would throw someone right into Jess King and be like, best of
Yes!
luck.
Oh
Hope
my
you like
god, and that's
it.
I would. I'd be like, "If you want something that's so wackadoodle out of this world, like, watch one of our Burning Man rides, and if you're not entertained and get a good workout, then get out of here."
She's the
Should this be the
best.
Peloton Stan podcast now? I feel like I could talk about this all day. This is, like, my favorite subject is Peloton instructors.
I don't know which class it was, but she posted some, obviously we saw it on social media. She posted some clips from a class that she did where she recommended to women. She said, if you are having a day, if you're in a funk, whatever it is that's going on, take your bra off and just go for a walk outside. She was like, "I don't care what size boobs you have, whatever it is, the attention you get, the heads you turn just from walking outside without a bra with a shirt on." I don't think the implication was to go topless, but she was like, "It will recharge your soul. It will fix whatever funk you're in. Just take off your bra." And as someone who usually doesn't wear a bra and is now currently dealing with having to wear a bra because I don't understand what's happening, they've like quadrupled in size. I agree. Like, I love not wearing a bra. It's
Yeah,
liberating. It reminds you who you are as a woman. So, from Jess King to Sip Happens,
there
take
you
off your
go.
bra.
Take off your bra. All right. I still want to talk about Peloton so much, but
I know.
we're out of time.
Sorry, I poked the
I
Peloton bear.
know, it was a really good one, and I'll say, first person would be maybe Emma Lovewell because she has some of my favorite music. She has awesome
She is
music,
a
like,
good one.
new music.
And she doesn't talk too much. She's great.
Oh,
Maybe I'll go do Emma right now.
go do Emma.
All
Good
right.
vibes.
See you
Bye.
next week.